Throppers? Recently had a chance to visit the 4Z's residential villa in Negril. And although I can't show y'all everything, I wanted to give you a quick sneak peek into what this home looks like. So firstly, the landscaping. Absolutely beautiful with fruit trees, coconut trees, ackee trees. Going inside, there's a 10-foot pivot door that welcomes you into a very wide open kitchen and living room. There are 4 bedrooms with in-suite bathrooms. The interior doors as well, 10 feet tall. Never seen it before in my life. We're talking high ceilings, open kitchen, skylight, floating steps, full live-in helper's quarters, and the master suite takes up the entire width of the building. I'm super excited about this and really happy that I got to show you this. We need more of this in Negril. What's going on, Throppers? Recently had a chance to visit the 4Z's residential villa in Negril. And although I can't show y'all everything, I wanted to give you a quick sneak peek into what this home looks like. So firstly, the landscaping. Absolutely beautiful with fruit trees, coconut trees, ackee trees. Going inside, there's a 10-foot pivot door that welcomes you into a very wide open kitchen and living room. There are 4 bedrooms with in-suite bathrooms. The interior doors as well, 10 feet tall. Never seen it before in my life. We're talking high ceilings, open kitchen, skylight, floating steps, full live-in helper's quarters, and the master suite takes up the entire width of the building. I'm super excited about this and really happy that I got to show you this. We need more of this in Negril. What's going on, Throppers? Recently had a chance to visit the 4Z's residential villa in Negril. And although I can't show y'all everything, I wanted to give you a quick sneak peek into what this home looks like. So firstly, the landscaping. Absolutely beautiful with fruit trees, coconut trees, ackee trees. Going inside, there's a 10-foot pivot door that welcomes you into a very wide open kitchen and living room. There are 4 bedrooms with in-suite bathrooms. The interior doors as well, 10 feet tall. Never seen it before in my life. We're talking high ceilings, open kitchen, skylight, floating steps, full live-in helper's quarters, and the master suite takes up the entire width of the building. I'm super excited about this and really happy that I got to show you this. We need more of this in Negril. What's going on, Throppers? Recently had a chance to visit the 4Z's residential villa in Negril. And although I can't show y'all everything, I wanted to give you a quick sneak peek into what this home looks like. So firstly, the landscaping. Absolutely beautiful with fruit trees, coconut trees, ackee trees. Going inside, there's a 10-foot pivot door that welcomes you into a very wide open kitchen and living room. There are 4 bedrooms with in-suite bathrooms. The interior doors as well, 10 feet tall. Never seen it before in my life. We're talking high ceilings, open kitchen, skylight, floating steps, full live-in helper's quarters, and the master suite takes up the entire width of the building. I'm super excited about this and really happy that I got to show you this. We need more of this in Negril.
Our intent is to change the landscape of Jamaica, to put us on the map globally as we deserve to be. Our product is far more supreme than I see in other places where they have far less.
So there's 4 towers of the wildlife and birds around the development: the swallowtail, the canary, the hummingbird, and the phoenix. Each tower has its own level of amenities in terms of gym, lounge areas, pools, cabanas, concierge, tennis courts, basketball courts, golf simulators, cigar bars, cafes, restaurants.
In order to stabilize the construction, we drive concrete tiles down into the ground to the tune of, this is 28 stories, 180 feet down below, in order to stabilize the building.
Now, everywhere is developed. So why we don't have, as a developed country, we should have something like Singapore, Dubai. I will do the first.
Afternoon, everyone. Happy Sunday. I hope you all are doing well. Hope you had a great work week last week. Great weekend as well. And today we are doing our usual Sunday live stream, talking a little bit about construction in Negril, modern construction in Negril. And as you saw from the video, I got to visit a residential villa here in Negril, and it's coming along pretty nicely, as you can see. And if you've been to the first or second year of ThropX, you saw the progress of this villa, and I think it's pretty nice. And we're just going to discuss that a little bit today. Not just the villa itself, but just construction, modern construction in Negril in general. But of course, let me know what city, what state, what country you are chiming in from. Always, always, always love to hear it. And just kind of brings a little bit of diversity to the community here. I see Nicole, you mentioned Throp-X coming up. Yes, yes, yes. Coming up shortly, 3 weeks. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Coming along. Plans are coming along pretty well. I went over the, what did I say? I went over on Friday. I went over Monday's itinerary for Throp-X. And maybe we'll get to that today, depending on how the stream goes. Jeff, you're saying, I see Jeff saying the stream is skipping. Let me know if that's still happening. Maybe it was the video. What's going on, Justin? Good to see you. Wagwan, Phil. Happy Sunday, Donna. And Nicole is chiming in from Toronto. Yes, Throp-X is fastly and quickly approaching. I'm very excited. Very, very excited for it. Fitz, what's going on? Atlanta and watching the Mexican GP. Okay, awesome, awesome. I was just watching, started watching the F1 series over again last night. Season 1, episode 1. Jeff chiming in from Montreal. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, where could we start? What could we start with? Let me know what you all think about the video, about the one that we opened up with, the villa, and how that's going. It's a work in progress, of course. But in the meantime, let me bring up the Throp-X. I want to finish going over that the Tuesday. So let me skip around actually. So let's go with the tour, the Throp-X tour, as we're talking about this villa. And the tour itself is mainly going to be in Negril. So that's the Wednesday. And I know this is something that a lot of people are excited about. This is probably one of the, I was going to say, the most exciting day or interested day that people are in, especially if you've already made up your mind that you want to invest in Jamaica and you are just looking for that perfect location, that perfect opportunity. I say this is a great way to, in a very quick, short period of time, to get an understanding of Jamaican real estate. And especially if you're looking in a beach town like Negril, because we have a variety of different types of properties. We have, as I mentioned this before, we have like an overwhelming amount of commercial properties that are for sale, particularly hotels. And even up until yesterday, I got a few inquiries of me, 2 other hoteliers asked me to see if I can help them put their hotel on the market. And it's just like crazy. You know, I don't know if it's just the timing of the owners of the property, like being in, you know, having owned the property for many, many decades. And it's just that time they're ready to sell and everybody is falling within that same time period, or, you know, something else is going on the market. But I don't know. This is the most amount of hotels that have been on the docket to do a tour. And with the tour, we had to cut in more than half the amount of hotels that we're going to see, because again, people are looking to buy a home. People are looking to buy a piece of land and build their home. And so the diversity and variety of the properties that are showing is like very, very, very important. But even with that, you really get to understand what you're getting for square footage, what you're getting for a beachfront property versus a cliff property versus something that's more inland. And that is one of the greatest values that you'll be walking away with from this real estate tour. And I also think it's really good for people who are living in Jamaica, whether it's realtors or those, Jamaicans who are living in Jamaica who are curious about Negril and purchasing property here in Negril, it really gives you an idea of the possibilities of what it's like to invest here. And I think that's, again, one of the highest values that we can give on this tour. So that's the tour, and the 4Zs will be on that tour, and we'll be driving past it. And I was on the tour last 2 years. It was on the tour last 2 years, and I know people who have seen it see a big difference in the video that we just saw, and maybe I'll show it again in a few minutes for those who are just joining before I really get into it. The other thing that I want to mention with the tour, and I thought this is like really, really important. We're going to be going to Coral Seas. And when I was going, I had a meeting with Maura and my team last week, and we were going through the list of different properties that we're going to be showing. And one of the things, like, I wasn't even thinking to put Coral Seas on there because I was like, hey, we've been there, done that. What's the point? But I think the importance of showing it and going back is you'll get to see the progress that has been made at this property. And what I mean by that is the folks who bought into it, they are doing a lot of refurbishment on the property, and you'll see the differences. And we also have a video coming out on that as well. You'll see the difference and the progress that is being made on the property. And then you also see SOV, which is the hotel that they bought next door to it. But hopefully the idea behind that is that you can see that the group of people who are the people who are part of this group, they're regular people just like me and you, but they decided to come together, pool their money, and make an investment in this hotel, and then they're doing a luxury condo conversion. And perhaps that is something that you may be interested in. And so I just want to present the opportunity and show you how this opportunity worked out. And this will be essentially a year to the day as to when this whole thing got started. And maybe there will be opportunities similar to that at Throp-X and on the real estate tour, because again, we're going to be visiting quite a number of commercial properties, particularly hotel properties. We're also going to be visiting a what would you call that? A shopping center. I guess I can say that. We're going to be visiting Times Square, which is for sale. That's already on the MLS, I believe. And so no secret with that. So I look at it, this is not far from Travelers. It is, maybe I'll bring up the map. And it used to be, I would say, like the gem of Negril as far as like plazas go for a long time. I'm just gonna bring it up so everybody can see what I'm talking about. And so we're gonna be visiting there, and again, speaking to the variety of different places that we have to offer. Let me pull it up 1 second. All right, here we go. Map of Jamaica. We're in the westernmost part of Jamaica. We are on the 7 Mile beach. So this is the 7 miles of white sand beach. Just kind of giving a little context here. Down here, this is the Negril roundabout, and then move to the left part or the western part of your map. That is going to the west end. So let's move down here. So this is Travelers Beach Resort here. And then we're going to go a little bit north up here. You know what I also have to say, like, as I'm going up here, so this is the Negril Hospital, Omega Medical Hospital, right? And next door to it, this is this place right here. I don't know the name of it, but it's a new plaza. And speaking of modern architecture, like, at first I have to say, when I was driving by, and I drive by it every day because it's literally across the street from Travelers, I was just like very unsure of the choice that they made in terms of like, man, I hope it's not going to be some old style. And that's what it was looking like initially, that it was just kind of this like old style of strip malls or, centers. I don't even know what to call it, but I have to say it's kind of coming together. Obviously, I didn't see the plans or anything like that. and it is like looking really, really, really awesome. And it is looking really modern, the entrance and exit and everything like that. And it's right next to the hospital. And I think it's like a beautiful location that they chose. And it seems like it's going to be a very beautiful and modern plaza. So, I take a step back from my initial thoughts on what this thing was going to be and what it's looking like. So if you're in Negril, you see it during Throp-X. It's coming along very, very nicely. So this is where the rumored KFC and Starbucks is going to be. I don't know. It's a rumor, 100%. I'm not trying to add fuel to the fire here, but this is not necessarily, hasn't been necessarily confirmed to be the home of Jamaica's next KFC. Who knows? Who knows? But that's what the rumors were, but it looks very nice. Anyway, let's get up to Times Square Shopping Plaza. So this is the shopping plaza that is for sale. This is what I was telling you was the gem of Negril. This used to be where a lot of the tourist buses used to go and drop off people to do shopping and that sort of thing. I used to go there with my brothers and my friends a lot during lunchtime for coffees at, I forget the name of the place, but we always call it Miss Betty's. That was the owner of the place. But it's seen better days, and this is like I think a great location on the boulevard for somebody to take it over. And maybe I don't know what it's zoned for, but I don't know what it's zoned for, but I would think it's a good place as we talk about Negril needing more and more housing. Man, yeah, this can be converted. This can definitely be converted into apartments, and I don't know if that's even possible, like legally, if that's possible, but something to think about. If that's something that you might be interested in. I don't know the specs on it, but we will be visiting it during Throp-X 2024, which is like 3 weeks away. Crazy 3 weeks away. All right. Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. What's up, Darnell? Thank you as always for the donation. Really, really appreciate you. And Darnell says, I invested into SOV because of you, Throp. Awesome. I'm so happy to hear, man. Congratulations. And so while we're on it, as I might as well show you, and we're moving over to the West End here. And again, initially, what started out, this is Coral Seas Cliffs, now called the West. Sorry, right here. And yeah, this whole thing right here, and then next door to it is SOV. And so just to be clear, we visited there last year during the real estate tour. This is Coral Seas, and a bunch of folks came together, purchased this property. I think they closed in the spring, and then a few months after that, they literally over the summer, they purchased SOV, which from what I understand, from what Delano was telling me, they're going to be chopping down this wall and they're going to make it into one big property. And as you just saw, Darnell bought into it, and he is one of the investors of this second property, which I think is just amazing. Like the dominoes that have fallen from this channel, from the Throp-X conference, and it's just so awesome that people are living out their dreams and investing in Jamaica, moving the community forward. And it's just like, some people may say like, hey, this is not a big deal or whatever. But you're from a microeconomic standpoint and a community level standpoint, there are so many people who are now employed here, who are part of the construction crews. There are people who are now living in the West, or formerly Coral Seas, who are now spending money, going to different restaurants in the area. And it's just bringing life back to two properties that were lifeless, and it's just like, we need more of that. And there's like so many more economic activities that are going to really trickle down from just the presence of people being and living there. And I think that's amazing. I think that's really, really amazing. And I think there is going to be, I already know there is going to be more of that coming along with Throp-X. And I think a lot of it is also even happening outside of Throp-X, which is the inspiration that I would love to see, is that folks are seeing like, hey, this group of strangers came together and did this. What if I go to my friends and we come together, we pool our money, and like, why don't we buy that vacant lot that we saw across the street from such and such place, right? And so it's showing the possibilities, and it's showing that this is definitely possible, and this is something that we can do. And again, I mean this really in like a positive way. It's just like, it's regular people like me and you who are doing this. And so you can be a part of it. Not everybody is a millionaire. Not everybody has $1 million, or in the case, of course, he's $3 million sitting down in the bank ready to make a purchase. But again, if we can pool our resources together, we see a good opportunity, put our money in, do a conversion, return on investment, right? And so it's just awesome to see like this is happening. And again, congratulations, Darnell. That's awesome. So awesome that you're a part of it. And hopefully that for those who are interested that are coming to Throp-X, there will be opportunities of this nature. Because I know there's like at least one other group outside of this group who are looking to do something different, who have reached out to me. And I also look at it like, I don't know, like we're kind of helping to Negril to change, right? We're helping move forward, and who knows how long these properties would have just stayed dormant there, who would have just sat there. And I've seen it before where properties have stayed dormant for decades, literally decades, and it just takes so long for people to find the motivation to buy it or invest in it. And it's, again, just awesome. So kudos to that group, kudos to everybody who's involved, and congrats to everybody who has invested in either of those properties. Let's get to some comments here. Joseph is chiming in from Costa Rica. Oh, pretty awesome. Welcome. Kay says, happy Sunday from Jamaica. Awesome. Jay Fitz says, Throp, can you share the name of the architect, builder, or put me in contact with the owner of the villa? I'm researching architects now as I need one there. If you can't share info, I understand. Yep, I will share that with you. And so you also bring up a good point, Jay Fitz, with choosing the architect. I think that is very, very important, right? And it's kind of like a lot of things with Jamaica in terms of exposure. And I know a lot of folks here are part of the diaspora and are maybe, and we're seeing, like, we're going down the line, right? We see Toronto, we see Costa Rica, we see Montreal, Atlanta, like people from all over. And you have this vast variety of different types of experiences and also expectations and standards that you have. And I would like and encourage you to bring those standards and those experiences to Jamaica, not only in your particular skill set, but in terms of also, like at JFITS, as you're looking to build some structure. I don't know if it's your home or retirement home, whatever it is, a development. I think it's important to get these high-level professionals to be a part of it. And I'm not saying that the skill set that you may be looking for, as we talk about modern architecture and modern building, is not here in Jamaica, but it's something you want to push for, right? It's something you definitely want to push for and try to make happen. Because, and this is kind of like one of the things I want to talk about today with this villa in particular, it's like we want to stay competitive in every aspect. Jamaica, that is. We want to stay competitive in every aspect. And when I think luxury, and I remember saying this I'm hesitating because I want to be careful with my words, and I don't necessarily want to offend a builder or a developer. But I always ask, you see some properties that say, like, all right, this is a luxury development. This is a luxury villa. And you ask the question, what is luxury? And your luxury, and I'm not needing to pick on you, Jay Fitz, but like Fitz, imagine like your luxury, perhaps it's the standard of luxury that you're looking for is that of Atlanta, right? And the standard of luxury here in Jamaica may be a little bit different and may not meet your Atlanta lenses that you put on when you think about luxury. And that comes in all facets, shapes, and forms. starting even with the architecture. Then let's get into even the design. What kind of countertops are you having? What kind of doors do you have? What kind of hinges do you have on those doors? What kind of nails do you use? Screws do you use? What kind of light switches do you have? What kind of appliances are you putting inside of your home? What kind of tiles do you have? Are you getting them from the tile place down the street? Are you importing them from Italy? And I'm not saying, everybody's different. Everybody's luxury standard is different. And so these are things to keep in mind, because sometimes I go into places that I visited, again, not naming names or anything like that here. And you're like, in my mind, I was like, this is luxury. And it's just like, this is not like, and maybe and I hate to say it like that, from a Jamaican standard, but we have to think and operate globally. And we want to be a globally competitive country on all facets. And that includes real estate, that includes development. And we've heard about real estate developments in Jamaica before, where, again, not naming names, but, read between the lines here, where standards haven't been met by the buyers from the developers itself, right? And sometimes they don't get it and they don't understand, and to them this looks great, this feels great. But again, in your experience, Japheth, maybe maybe you've traveled all over the world, maybe you spent a lot of time in New York, and you've gone into luxury penthouses, and there's that standard of luxury. But then you come to Jamaica, and certain aspects of the development, and you're like, this is not luxury. And, this is more middle class than anything else. And so I see a lot of that. And in this particular home that we're looking at today, you can see and feel the nuanced differences between what this luxury is and what other quote unquote luxury is. I did not mean to go down that rabbit hole, but so be it. We're gonna get a little bit more into that shortly. Let me finish up these comments. Norma Davis said, hi everyone coming in. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. The Big Apple, New York, awesome. Just reading Justin's comment. KFC is so gross. Yeah, not my thing either. Not my thing either. Mosaic Travel and Tours, peace and blessings, everyone. Good to have you on, Tanika. Daniel, happy Sunday, Throp. Watching you from beautiful Treasure Beach. Awesome. Haven't been there in a while. Got to get back out there. Joe says, that's amazing. Congrats to all that invested. Metro Atlanta Real Estate and Mortgage Insights. Happy Sunday, everyone. Happy Sunday to you as well. Shauna, what's going on? Happy Sunday, beautiful people. And shout outs to all my channel members. Thank you all. Appreciate the support. My Patreons as well. Really, really, really appreciate you all. Thank you. Vito says, finally, the princess comes on board this coming Friday the 1st. I heard about it. That's exciting. That is, and for those who don't know what Vito's talking about, that Princess Hotel, that is I don't think they're opening all their rooms from what I understand, but that is going to be the largest hotel in all of Jamaica. And this is it right here, 2,000 rooms. And this is in Green Island. You can see it on your screen. This is in Green Island. We're talking about 15 minutes from Negril. And yeah, they're opening on November 1st from what I heard. And they have these overwater bungalows, villas. I'm not sure what you want to call it, which is pretty cool. I promise you, we're going to get there. We're going to get there one of these days when they're ready, to camera ready, so to speak. I know they got a lot. I still got a lot going on, a lot of construction. You can kind of see it from the roadside, but one day we'll get there. We'll do a tour. But from what I heard, it's very, very beautiful. Regardless of how you feel about all inclusives and everything like that, it's still something I feel, even as a small hotel owner, I think this is a very, very exciting thing happening for Jamaica, for the western part of Jamaica, to have this hotel here. And I could tell you, I feel like, I hope it inspires more foreign direct investment, but there are other large hotels that are coming this way and following suit and are right behind the Princess Hotel, that is like right along this coast. this western coast coming down. Where is the other one? Yeah, I don't want to speak too far, but there's one coming closer to Negril along this coast. So I think this is exciting. It's more jobs. There's more housing being developed. Um, just more cash flow. I will say, and I said this before. Years ago when this thing was under construction. And I don't mean to be negative, but it's realistic, and it's something that is getting worse and worse and worse, and which is the traffic. I don't know what is going to happen because right now Lucy is crazy. Especially if you don't get there by a certain time, you're going to be sitting there for an hour. And for those that don't know, let's go east here. All right, so we're going through Lucy. Oh, here it is. All right, so this is like that seawall, I guess you can call it here. And what's been happening lately is that the traffic has been backed up all the way even to this bridge here, like like regular. Even leaving for the airport, you have to leave an hour earlier than you normally would be because you just don't know what you're going to run into. And this road is horrific with potholes. Like you have to slow down and then forget about it. If there's a delivery happening and there's a truck that's blocking the road plus the potholes. So it's like, it's crazy. I have to say, it's crazy what this has turned into now. And I mean, even the drivers here are telling me like, it's just, they've never seen it before. And it's just like every day it's like that. It's just every day it's like that. I don't know about the weekends. Maybe it's a little bit different. Maybe it's different on Sunday, but man, oh man. And again, compiling it and compounding a 2,000 room hotel, and you have to go through Lucy. I guess you could go the other way, maybe. I know I've heard of some drivers doing that, but as we move into the season, we'll see what happens. But we can already see the handwriting on the wall. We can see what's happening. We can see what's gonna happen here. And are we talking about 3-hour rides to the airport that we should be expecting to take you 3 hours to get to the airport, 3 hours to get to Negril from Montego Bay? Who knows? That's a lot more traffic that's going to be on the road, not only for airport transfers, but of course, folks who are staying at these hotels, they want to go out and explore Jamaica. They want to go to Ochi. They want to go to Montego Bay, as it should be. We want them to get out the hotel. We want them to spend their money throughout the country. But man, if it's going to be this like horrendous experience, but we got to call a spade a spade. I don't know what they're going to do. We'll see. Maybe this winter is a test. I don't know how many rooms of the 2,000 rooms that they're going to be opening, but it's another large hotel in the West here that is going to be bringing more and more traffic to the area, which we want as a developing nation. We want more people coming in. We want more flights. We want more people staying at our hotels and spending money in the communities. But what is that experience like getting there? What is that experience like leaving? And then plus, what about us who have to work and do business in these different locations and have to sit in this traffic on a regular basis and people going to work, et cetera, et cetera. All right, let's keep going through the comments here. Jay Fitz said, I closed on a piece of seaside land on the west end up the street from the bakery and received the title from Miss Gray last week. Awesome. Across the street from the bakery. Is that Deep West End Bakery? Let me know. I think I know what you're talking about, Fitz. That's amazing. Congratulations. And of course, Miss Gray is the real estate lawyer that I recommend to you all. If you're going to be doing any business and you need a real estate lawyer, she's going to be a speaker at ThropX this year. And another satisfied customer in Jay Fitz. That's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that you used Miss Gray, Fitz, and that you were able to close on your land. Congratulations. Congrats. That's so awesome. So awesome. Justin says cheap is not always better, quality last. I might be reading that out of context. Joe says, who owns the Princess Hotel? I believe it's a Spanish group. Don't quote me on that. That's what I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that. Wolf Club says dope location. I agree. Says looks like Bora Bora. Yeah, especially with those overwater bungalows. Alfonso says, "What's up, Throp and family? Hope everyone is enjoying this beautiful Sunday. Just watched a video on the Princess Hotel this morning. I think it's the #1 spot at the moment in Jamaica. It's beautiful." Really? Wow. Coming from you, that's a big statement. That's awesome. Like I said, we're gonna do a video. Of course, I know what it's like to even just open a new block of hotel rooms after doing a refurbishment. I can only imagine opening a brand new hotel where you need to do to get things settled. So at some point, we are gonna get there. I promise you. And I'm proud. I'm proud that this is in Jamaica. I'm proud that this is in not necessarily Negril, but near Negril. And I always say it's like these folks could have gone to another island, they could have gone to another country and invested there, and they chose Jamaica. Awesome. What is up, Claudine? Chiming in from Cali. Nice to have you. Justin says, "Are the road flooded at the bridge in Lucy?" Oh yeah, if it rains over there, forget about it. That and it gets flooded, like you could be sitting in Lucy traffic for 3 hours, let alone have a 3-hour ride to the airport. Very, very good point, Justin. Justin said, "Did the work on the new highway start yet?" Yes. So let's go over to Montego Bay. You guys are really testing my map skills here today. All right, just so you know, this is the Montego Bay Airport, or Sanctions International Airport. And I think, where were we? Is this the highway? This got to be it. I think I'm assuming this is the highway. I really think it is. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I just don't know like how it comes back, because from what I understand, it's going to end up in Bogue. And I know this because, and I don't know how old these pictures are new, but you can see when you're driving. Even I had a meeting on Thursday, I think, or Wednesday in Montego Bay, and yeah, this is old because they already have like a new road, a brand new paved road along here. I don't know if you can see my mouse. And then even just updating you on some changes that happened. Even here, there is, so this is the Pinnacle. Again, this is a bit dated because they're much further along. They already started building their commercial center, and then the piles for the closest, I don't remember the name, but the closest tower to the road are already in, and you can already see the structures of the rooms there. So they're much further along. But what I also notice here is that there is a cut in the road here, and there's going to be a traffic light there. So if you're coming from say Bogue, there will be a light, and you can make a right into the Pinnacle. And then same thing, if you're leaving the Pinnacle, you'll be able to make a right here. At least that's the way that it looks. And then you can even see in the road the arrows going, there's a right lane that you'll be able to go into there. So like, some big changes, some big traffic changes that are happening along the North Coast here. Callison says, "Professional services don't come cheap in Jamaica, so don't look for an architect fees to be much less than what we pay in the U.S. Got estimates in the region of 100,000 U.S. to design a small development." Yeah, I'm not surprised at that at all. Not surprised at that at all. And it's I would say, if you can maintain the mindset of you get what you pay for sort of thing when you're doing construction down here. And as Justin says, sometimes it's not better to go cheaper. Sometimes. But I'm going to give you an example where it is better to go cheaper. But I think it's just going smarter more than anything else. So yeah, like look for that. And you don't want to skimp on something so important, such an important part of your team, the architect, the quantity surveyor, the contractor, like, these, especially if you're doing like a development or something like that, where you're going to be selling to the public, like you want to make sure that it is as best as you possibly can make it, right? TDC Consultant says Villa Alamar in Treasure Beach is a good example of tropical modern with interior design homage given to the Fisher culture in Treasure Beach without being cliche. All right, let's look that up. We'll see. I feel like I've seen this before. All right, let me know if this is the one that you're talking about, TDC Consultants. Is this it? Looks really beautiful. Giving them a little free advertisement, no problem. I've never been there. I wonder where this is. And let me know if this is the same one. I feel like this is the same one that you're talking about. But I feel like Treasure Beach is like the villa capital of Jamaica in like a big way. And that's like one of the, I think that's one of my favorite things to do, like accommodations to do, is like have in Treasure Beach especially, is this, as if you're with like a small group, everybody gets their own space. You can have a team. Most of these places have like a team that make you breakfast and lunch or whatever have you. They'll even do the grocery shopping for you. And I find it relatively affordable, like relatively affordable, especially if you split it amongst, amongst a few folks. It could actually work out to be cheaper than staying in a hotel. Yeah, this place is very beautiful. But I'll also say it's like Treasure Beach. I feel like a lot of those villas that they're building out there are more modern esque. I'll also say that in White House, a lot of the villas that are being built there are super modern, and not just the architecture, but the design. I think that's also very, very important and something that people overlook. And sometimes we don't have the best taste, and the professionals do. Something to look into, something to consider. You may have an idea of what you think is hot and what you think is good, and that's all well and good. But I'm more so thinking like, if you're building your house and you have your idea of what you want it to look like, because you're going to live in it, you're going to retire in it, more power to you. But I'm more thinking like, hey, you want to do Airbnb, or you want to rent it out to the public in whatever capacity that you feel you need to. You want to be competitive, and like not just competitive in Jamaica. You want to be competitive globally, and I think that is really the message that I'm trying to push here more than anything else. Is like, we want to be competitive globally. We don't want to be competitive locally, fighting against Montego Bay or Treasure Beach or wherever. We want people, when they think about Jamaica and they think about staying in maybe a villa or a development that you're going to do, that they're gonna be like, oh, this is where I want to stay. This is the kind of place that I want to be in, and I could see myself there. And so me and my brothers, we've been working through doing upgrades here at the hotel. Of course, we're selling to the public. We want to be competitive globally. And one of the statements that we always repeat to each other, always, and not in every facet, but definitely like the big things, is like, is this Instagrammable? Is this Instagrammable? It's so important, and we got to realize like that is a powerful platform, social media. Are people going to sit on your steps and take a selfie? Are people going to stand next to that mural that you have and take a family picture? Are people going to share themselves working out in your gym? Are people going to go in the pool at night and take a video there, or make a reel, or make a TikTok? Is it Instagrammable? And we have to think that, and that's just the world that we live in. That's just a society that we live in. Again, especially if you're building accommodations that you're going to be selling to the public. And this is, again, a question that we ask ourselves over and over and over again. And I'm talking about from the room redesign that we're doing, to the bathrooms, to the restaurant that we're going to be doing, like everything, like we keep asking ourselves, is this Instagrammable? And so, that's, I'm not saying you have to think that way, but just a frame of mind to consider, Let me take this down. Hold on. I think where were we? I was on maps here somewhere. Okay. We'll go back to that. Select the Princess says, beautiful. Thanks for the shows, Throp. No problem. Juvas says, how can the citizens hold the government to fix the roads with proper drainage? I don't know. I mean, we got our drainage problems here in Negril like crazy. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. And we've had and as you know, like these storms, like the hurricanes, and some of them don't even come close to Jamaica, but will get, the outer swirl with all the rain. And man, the grill floods certain spots in the grill flood like crazy. And I don't know the answer to that. To me, the only thing that we can do is continue to speak about it and advocate for just, I don't know, the basics, the basics of making adjustments to these things. So I don't have an answer for you, Joel. Sorry about that. Selecta says yes, new highway has started in Montego Bay, Jamaica. That's right. That's right. Donna says, will there be gambling there? And Throp, you said in 2023 prices are going to keep going up. Which prices? I said a lot in 2023. Which prices are you talking about, Darnell? Sorry. Yes. So from what I understand, there is going to be a full gambling casino there. I don't know if the license has been granted. I don't know what that looks like exactly. But from what I understand, full on casino. And, even with that, like say that is correct, right? There is going to be a casino there. Let me pull up the map again. What you're going to have too is that people are going to stay in the grill, drive 15 minutes, go gamble. I'm sure they're going to have some sort of entertainment there, clubbing, whatever have you. I'm assuming they're going to have this open if you're going to have an open casino. And then they're going to drive back to Negril. And I'll also say not just for people who are visiting, but people who are living in Negril. And this is going to attract, like that amenity alone is going to attract like a different type of family, people to live in Negril because it's a great amenity. And that also, we can even go north of that, right? People who are living in Lucy, definitely on this side of the bridge, not going past downtown Lucy. But it's going to spur development. It's definitely going to spur development because for workers, management, supervisors, you name it. So I personally think they're going to do well. Chelsea Clinton, what's going on? Good to see you. Raymond says, hi, Throp. How's the water situation in Negril now? It depends. Like West End, still is having challenges. Here on the beach road, I mean, speaking from the hotel perspective, we're okay as far as I'm concerned. Hasn't affected us recently. Nothing that I can remember, but that's my assessment at this situation. But it's not like a solved problem. Don't get me wrong. It's not like a solved problem. It was better than it was in, say, January. When we were in the height of it, like moving into late last year into this year. Jeff says, I just can't see the Princess Hotel can charge $1,000 a night. Expedia has some discount rates, but can the market support these prices? $1,000 a night? Wow, I didn't know that. Is that like their standard price, or is that a suite? What are we talking about here? That's up there. That's up there. But as I've been saying, like Jamaica is moving in a luxury direction. Make no mistake about it. We're not. Jamaica is not going after the affordable traveler market, even though that is here. Don't get me wrong, that is here for sure. But like, look at the type of investments that are coming into Jamaica. Look at the type of investment that the government is doing. Look at the airports. Like the airport is coming along beautifully. The lounges that we have at the airport, beautiful. They are up there with lounges globally. Montego Bay, I believe, got if it was not this year, last year, like airport of the year in the Caribbean or something like that. Jamaica is continuing to go down this path. It's continuing to go down this path. $1,000 a night. Can the market support that? I mean, if they're charging, I mean, we'll see. I think so, to be honest. Like, I honestly think so. Jeff says the bypass is only opening in 2028. Yeah, it's gonna be some time. Yeah, this is not happening tomorrow. The highway is definitely not happening tomorrow. Selector says Long Hill toward downtown Montego Bay. That's where it will come out. That's what I understood. That's what I understand as well. They're talking about the highway. TDC consultant says Rock House Hotel is another good one. The most of the buildings development pays attention to the rocky terrain and interior design, referencing modern colonial luxury, in my opinion. Yeah, love Rock House, like how it's designed, and solid construction as well. Vito says work also started last week Saturday on the Long Hill bypass. Awesome. So let me just show you all where that is. So it's in Montego Bay. So this is, maybe make sure that I find it. Okay, so we're here in the Bogue area. This is Long Hill right here going up. So this is the other way you can kind of come to Negril. You go basically through here. I think through here, and then you come out. Yeah, you come out here in Sav, and then you come around Little London, and then you're in Negril. So that's another way of, like, if there's trouble along the North Coast. This is obviously shorter, but what they're saying is that the highway. Sorry, I lost my place here. The highway will start and end from there. Right. So the thing about that is you skip all of downtown Montego Bay. You skip all of this. You skip the, there's no going up on top road or bottom road or anything like that. You skip all of it. And that traffic can sometimes be horrific as well. J Fitz says, yes, that's the bakery. I use all the reputable contacts from ThropX conference. Thank you for all you do with ThropX. Thank you so much. You're welcome. You're welcome, J Fitz. That's so nice and awesome to hear that you're benefiting from the resources from ThropX, and very, very happy for you. Very, very happy for you. Next conference is in 3 weeks. 3 weeks. You can go to thropx.com. If you can't make it in person, you can buy your virtual tickets, and that'll get you into the education panels on Monday and Tuesday. And yeah, you're more than welcome to join in. Thropx.com. That's the website. All right, let's keep rolling here. I lost my place here. Okay. Justin says, I agree. Going smarter is always the best option. Wolf Cub says, I see a lot of these modern building exterior looks great most of the time, but the interiors are most time lacking. And that's what I mean. Gotta get a good designer. Get a designer, but get a good one. Yeah, and don't always think that you have the best ideas, because again, if you're going to be having a space where you're going to be selling rooms or homes or whatever, you want to be competitive. You just want to be competitive. TDC says using an arc goes much beyond the building. They will grant you more curated experience. The building is one part, but the interior is another part. Good point. Making my point. Joe says you got to be careful with super modern, because it's usually trendy and trends die. I like timeless designs. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. TDC says the interior is really the story you want to tell. For example, Pinnacle, a beautiful reference of modern luxury from the Jamaican perspective with an international appeal. I like that. More on the interior. Joe says interior design can be super modern because that's easy to change, but modern structures like a weird roof pitch. Fair enough. TDC goes on. Architect Altier Vidal also are keen on beautiful tropical modern with luxury interior with humble materials, examples wood, stone, etc. It encourages a return to simplicity. I like that, a return to simplicity. Junior Char says, I Throp just came in. Did you mention the new international airport coming in Negril? We talked a little bit about it last week, I think, and we've been talking about it for a while. I think why it's getting like so much I don't know, exposure now is because the prime minister had mentioned it again at the Jamaica Love event, which is Sandals event in Montego Bay a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, we talked about it a little bit, but more so like, I mean, it's going to be quite a few years. I mean, I think 5 years at best. I personally think, I mean, you know how things go here, but nonetheless, I think it's going to change Jamaica, going to change Negril in huge way. He says, why do all countries outside of America who modernize have to copy Western culture? You don't have to. You don't have to at all. You can stay with the Jamaican traditional colonial architecture if you want, which I'm not necessarily a fan of. I think a lot of it is dated. A lot of it is dated. And so I'm just making the point is it's important, whatever that looks like for you, whatever it may look like for you, right? Is you want to have a competitive property, right? And you want a property, whether it's a hotel, a villa, a bed and breakfast, you're doing a small development, renting to young professionals, cater to your market, And you don't, when people are making a decision and now people have access to a lot of information, people have access to a lot of different options and not just options in Jamaica, not just options in Negril, not just options in Ocho Rios or Montego Bay. And they're going to compare apples to oranges to bananas. And if you have something that is new, but it's like 1995 luxury, and not 2020, 2024 luxury, but you're selling a luxury experience, you may lose out on that sale. You may lose out on that client because you don't have the amenities that a modern traveler is looking for. And like, this is the mindset that I have as a small hotelier in Negril, Jamaica. And when you have a Princess 2,000 room hotel that has, you know, a budget in the tens of maybe even hundreds of millions of dollars, we cannot compete on that. We cannot compete on that, but we can compete on the nuanced experience. We can compete on the nuanced amenities. We as a small hotel, we can move a lot quicker and shift faster than those big guys, but they have a lot of advantages compared to us. Their marketing budget is insane. And so you also have to think as well, whatever it is that you're considering doing, again, are you doing a rental, Airbnb? You're doing a small hotel yourself, whatever it looks like. You have to, I'm imploring you to think globally competitive. We can't think locally competitive because we're going to continue to be a more and more globalized world, globalized country. And we're part of the international community. And we want to be able to welcome people from all over the world to our shores and to enjoy our culture, to enjoy the amenities that we have to offer. And if we just have a mindset of just continue to build what we like and what we think is hot and what we think is good, we may lose out. You know, not so recently, I went to, let's put it this way. Imagine you go to a newly constructed home that is selling on Airbnb and they paid all this money, you know, like literally finished last year. And then you go inside and there are green curtains and pink floors. The outside of the house is purple. Who's that going to appeal to? Because you thought it was good and you thought that was a good way to spend your money and you thought that was going to attract all these different people. there are people that is not going to consider that at all. And like that, and that's a little bit of an extreme example. Like those are very clashy, gaudy colors. I've seen homes like that, not even hotel. I've seen hotels like that. You know, the one I'm thinking of, like, and I've seen it online. I'm just like, you just reinvested in your hotel, and like this is what you chose. These are the curtains you chose. These are the tiles you chose. And I was like, okay. And like, I don't mean to be judgmental, but it's not something that I would do. And then there are homes that are purple and green, new homes. You spent all this money, and that's what you decided to paint the house, and then you're trying to sell it. So this is what I mean. Those sort of things that like this is what I'm talking about. Joe was mentioning, timeless architecture that is not trendy. And I appreciate that sentiment. But man, on the design side, need a lot of help with that, from what I'm seeing. And it's just like it's important to be, hopefully you can be objective about yourself, of your strengths and your weaknesses, and put your ego aside. And there's a lot of things that I like, right? That I wouldn't necessarily put in my hotel because I know that's not going to appeal to the market, and I don't think I have the best taste. As a matter of fact, I know I don't. I know I don't. There are professionals out there who do this every single day, and I'm going to lean on their counsel and to rely on them. And they may not necessarily have the final decision, but I absolutely want to hear what they have to say. And a lot of the times it's just like I realize I don't know what I'm talking about. I have no idea what good design is. I have no idea that this color and that color are better off together. And so anyway, I don't mean to be super negative or be disrespectful in any way of other people and their businesses and the things and way that they choose to design. But I just look at it as, even though they may be a competitor of ours, like they are still representing Jamaica and modern Jamaica, and they're still representing Negril and modern Negril. And I want them to do well. I want them to do well. I want their clientele to come back and say like they had an amazing time and they're coming back to Jamaica. And they love Jamaica. They love the people. And they don't even have to be a traveler's guest. But I want anybody who comes to Jamaica to have a good experience and want to come back and want to maybe even make Jamaica their home at some point in time. All right, let's keep rolling here. Jamaica says the government needs to build some well-designed bridges across these many bays rather than going around them. They can be attractions themselves. My dad had the same idea about Lucy, and I don't know if that's what you're referencing, but I mean, that to me makes perfect sense. It's like you skip the whole of downtown. You don't have to go around this bay. So I don't know what it costs to build a bridge, but from here to here, that seems to make the most sense. Or somewhere here, across here, and just coming right in the road. I don't know who owns the land and what that would take to do logistically and bureaucratically, but I agree. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think that makes a lot of sense. Jason Gilmore says, "Hey Throp, I stayed at the Cliff Hotel recently and I was impressed. Do you think most of the accommodations on the West End target the high-end luxury customers?" Oh, I just saying this to somebody yesterday. I think the Cliff Hotel is like the most beautiful hotel in the Grove. Like, I'm not even kidding. It is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So I'm showing you on the map here. So this is the 7 Mile beach of Negril downtown, and we're going West End, and we're going deep West End. And so let's see here. This is the lighthouse here on the West End, and then this is Whoopi's, and then this is the fork in the road. Go down to Laundry or keep going to deep West End, and then this is the Cliff Hotel right here. Absolutely stunningly beautiful hotel. Let's see if we can show some pictures here. Really, really, really nice. Nice drone shot there. Just a superb layout. And as soon as you walk in, this is like their lobby area. You're just like looking out at the entire property and the sea. And they have a great restaurant. I think it's called Zest. I don't really get there that often, but every now and then I'll go there for dinner. But really, really, really beautiful. Well, nicely done property. Great food too. Great food. Great food. So you get it. What's your question again? Do you think most of the accommodation in the West End will target the high-end luxury customers? Mm, That I used to say like that the West End that is it has the highest room rates in Negril. Like, and I always reference the caves, now the cliffs, as you mentioned, Rock House, and like, yeah, that clientele is up there for sure, and it's beautiful. And I think one of the main reasons why they're able to do that because they have so much more control over their clientele experience. Whereas like the beach, I always say, is just like it's a free flowing beach, and it's also part of the experience of staying on the beach of like people coming up to you, sell you things. Who's walking by? We have horses, unfortunately, which are illegal, but they're part of the beach, right? And you have people trying to sell you boat rides, parasailing, water sports in general. And so Negril Beach is a public beach. It'll always be a public beach as far as I'm concerned. So the experience of the guest cannot necessarily be controlled. On the other side, I feel on the West End I feel the West End offers a little bit more of an intimate experience. It's quieter because you don't have like a dual traffic, if you will, like a traffic on the beach and then you have traffic on the road sort of thing. And you're just in that property. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not there is no road that you can go to that's along the cliffside that you can go from one hotel to the next hotel. You got to come out the property, go on the road, and then go to the next hotel. So I think that plays into that luxury accommodation mindset, if you will. But I think I love the West End, and I think it's a great place for that. And there's a lot of villas coming up on the West End as well, luxury villas. I had mentioned before I've never been there on property, but we're trying to sell Angela's place. Why am I somewhere west? Here you go. Somewhere west. I've shown the video. I guess I'll show the video in a little bit. It'll give me a break to grab some water. But Ripple is right next door to it, which is a beautiful villa as well. Never been on there, but ever been inside. But when I was flying my drone, showing Angela's place somewhere west, that I caught the villa. I was like, man, this place is beautiful. On the west end, I see a few other seemingly luxury villas that are being built on the west end. And the thing with the west end, let's see if we can see a picture here. That's the back. That's the front entrance. You kind of see it here. The thing with the West End and along that cliffside is this view. It's like anywhere you set up shop there, you're getting this like ungodly view, this absolutely beautiful, gorgeous view. And I was just saying this again to somebody yesterday. I've never woken up on the West End. I've never spent the night there and woken up and like had like a full day to experience what it's like for the West End to wake up. I've gone there for breakfast, but I think it's a different feeling. Imagine like your room is upstairs here, and it's just the crack of dawn, and you come down into the living room, you have a coffee, and you just like overlooking and say, "Oh my gosh, forget about it." And then, needless to say, the sunsets are just ridiculous on the West End, absolutely ridiculous on the West End. So that's I think a huge advantage of being over there. And Jay Fitz, you're telling me you got seaside over there? Congrats. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with that. That is huge. All right, let me see if I could show you somewhere west video real quick, just so I can. My voice is getting hoarse here. Please, hopefully I still have it here. Okay. I Got it. All right, we're gonna take, I think it's like 2 minutes.
On the west end of Negril at a very beautiful property that is for sale. It's actually my friend's place, a good friend of mine, and she's selling it. And we're gonna be doing a feature on it on my YouTube channel. And I just wanna show you guys around a little bit before we do the shoot. What could be yours. ChatGPT right there. Beautiful views here. Let's go out to the pool. Doesn't have any water in it right now. This is a saltwater pool. Yeah, they're gonna fill it up for the shoot that we're gonna be doing soon. I don't know if you can see that. Pretty nice views of the coastline. Let's go up. Let me show you some of the views from upstairs and some of the rooms. All right. Remember these? Not too shabby. So imagine waking up to this every day or going to sleep to this every night. So beautiful, like naturally, you don't even need to do anything. If I had the money, I would buy it. Like, this is heaven. And the neighborhood is really awesome as well. But yeah, we're gonna be doing the shoot in a couple of weeks, so stay tuned for that. And gonna be working directly with my friend, the owner, on getting this up on the channel, and really excited and proud to be a part of this project.
All right, that was somewhere west. Go for sale if anybody's interested. All right, let's get to some more comments
on the west end
here.
of Negril at a very beautiful property that is for sale. It's actually my friend's place, a good friend of mine, and she's selling it. And we're
Sorry about that. All right, let's get to the comments here. Wolf Cub says, Throp, a lot of structures that was built in the early 2000s wasn't designed by architects or used interior designers. It was done from people that know masonry work. Yes. Yes, that's exactly what I'm alluding to. And I understand sometimes you just got to do that. You know, sometimes you're in a situation where you can't afford these professionals, but you know somebody that can put up 4 walls and can do a simple design, and you just go with it. And you know, what I'm saying may not apply to those folks, but maybe, you know, you can bang your belly, as they say, and get that professional, make that much more of a difference in the final product that you're going to be putting out to the market. Joe says, TDC Throp, I agree. When I think of NYC brownstone house, that is timeless architecture from the 1800s. Totally agree. Totally agree. What would you say? Can you give an example of this in Jamaica? The only thing I can think of was like great houses, and then but they have a historical importance as well. But Joe, if you have any examples of a timeless design in Jamaica, outside of that, I'd be interested to know. But yes, I agree. Brownstones in New York City. Other Joe says, hey everyone, thanks again for all the information. Throp, you never disappoint. Thank you. And I'd really love to see more about the other parishes of Jamaica, not just Negril. Yeah, me too. But we're gonna be visiting other parishes. Obviously, I just know way more about Negril because I live here and this is my home, and I've been here almost 20 years. But I hear you. I agree. We plan to do more this year, but man, just couldn't get to it. We're going to try to spend some extended periods of time in other parts of the country, and to kind of, in a way, do the same for those places that we've done for Negril. Carlos says, I love to spend time in both beach and cliffs. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do Negril. Best way. I know we have a lot of guests who will stay on a property on the West End, and they'll stay at Travelers, and they'll split their vacation. And it's like two for the price of one, you know, and you can stay in one, hang out in the other, or vice versa. Stay in the cliffs, hang out at the beach, and however you want to chop it up, right? Carlson says Joe Negril is Throp's niche, but yes, would love to see a look at some other areas, even if it's still Westmoreland. Yeah, definitely, definitely. We plan to do so. Phoenix is me says, hi, that's what I love. Jackie's definitely love waking up and seeing the sunrise. Yeah, Jackie's in the reef. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right, let me talk a little bit about more. I just want to get a little bit into my my friend's villa. I showed the video earlier, and I wanted to bring some as we go along with a theme of modern design and competitive design. We want more of this in Negril and even Ripple. You know, I think beautiful, beautiful villa, beautiful villa. We saw the pictures. But let's watch this video real quick. It's literally less than a minute, and then would love your commentary, your feedback, and I want to go through, hopefully bring you some like real value of the process of construction of my friend's villa residence. And there's some lessons to be learned here. Okay. What's going on, Throppers? Recently had a chance to visit the 4Z's residential villa in Negril. And although I can't show y'all everything, I wanted to give you a quick sneak peek into what this home looks like. So firstly, the landscaping. Absolutely beautiful with fruit trees, coconut trees, ackee trees. Going inside, there's a 10-foot pivot door that welcomes you into a very wide open kitchen and living room. There are 4 bedrooms with en-suite bathrooms. The interior doors as well, 10 feet tall. Never seen it before in my life. We're talking high ceilings, open kitchen, skylight, floating steps, full live-in helpers quarters, and the master suite takes up the entire width of the building. I'm super, super excited about this and really happy that I got to show you this. We need more of this in Negril. So yeah, so that's my friend's villa. And again, if you came to Throp-X 22, 23, I think 1, we drove by, 2, we actually got out and viewed it and seen it. No, I think both times we actually got out and viewed it and seen it. And yes, please listen to Justin. Get the likes up. Get the likes up. And so there are, kind of going back to what I was saying before, like there are you see some construction happening in Negril, and it's just this, and also design. And it's more so this, again, not what I would say like old luxury. And it's not what you're talking about, Joe, this like timeless design. And I think that there is a lot of opportunity in the market for this type of villa accommodations that I just showed. And again, let me know what you think. Some of y'all might hate it. Some of y'all might think it's crap. Please let me know. But I think the way the world is moving and the way the expectations for the modern traveler are of this nature, right? And again, Jamaica is competing globally. Negril is competing globally. Me and my friends are planning a trip to Bali, and I think I talked about this before. I always said the 3, what would I say? The 3 global pillars of digital global nomads are Tulum, Medellin, Colombia, and Bali, and then I'll also throw Lisbon in there. It's getting mixed up now, and some of them are up and some of them are down. But nonetheless, I always thought of all of those, like Bali was like the number one. And you look at the factors as to what makes these destinations, these global hubs for these digital nomads, and they're attracting this market consistently. And when the pandemic was happening, man, everybody and their mother was in Tulum. everybody, like all my friends and friends of friends, they were all down there with their laptops and working from there. I don't know that many people that were in Bali over there, but definitely Tulum. And I'm just like, why isn't this happening in Jamaica? A lot of people did come to Jamaica. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people were here during the pandemic, during the pandemic, but not like the droves that I saw in Tulum. And they really blew up in that aspect. And I'm just like, man, they could we definitely have everything that you could need to work from home. But we didn't. I don't think we had the accommodations, honestly. I don't, at least, in the grill, we had the hotels, yeah, and we had people who were staying at our hotel, excuse me. But then let's move over to Bali, for example. And as myself and my friends, as we plan our trip and we look at the villas that we have, yeah, we're not staying in a hotel. We're gonna stay like in a home, and it just makes so much sense financially to stay there. And and this is the thing that Jamaica doesn't have, and I don't think we're going to have that, and I don't think we're going to be competitive on this stage, which is the cost of living. Um, I haven't been to Bali. I haven't been there yet, so I can't speak to it directly, but it is far cheaper than Jamaica. I know that already. I have been to Medellin. I have been to Bogota earlier this year. Pennies on the dollar compared to Jamaica. But again, going into the accommodations side of things, they have much more modern accommodations and amenities. And this is my point. And we need to be able to compete at least on that level. If it's Jamaica is an expensive destination to come to, and to kind of maneuver around, the value has to be there. And one of the most important values of the experience of coming to Jamaica is where you're going to be laying your head, where you're going to be resting. And that goes for hotels, obviously, baseline, but also if you're going to have Airbnb villa accommodations. I think, as somebody mentioned before with that villa in Treasure Beach, I think Treasure Beach is doing a phenomenal job. Great, great accommodations. Amazing, amazing. Why aren't we getting that in the grill? I just don't. I can name the five, maybe five villas, standalone, that is, standalone villas that are in Negril. There is two on the beach. I think there's two standalone villas on the beach. Three on the west end, four. Four on the west end that I can think of. And that's it. And that's it. That's it. There are homes. Don't get me wrong. There are homes. There are houses. But to me, the villa market is wide open. I was speaking to a villa manager a few months ago here in Negril, and they were telling me that their occupancy was like something crazy. They basically don't take days off. And I was like, why do you think that is? And then she was like, because the closest villas that you're seeing are in White House, which is, I don't need to bring up the map. It's like 45 minutes, 50 minutes, or call it 50 minutes or so away from your grill. But then there's nothing to do in White House. There's nothing to do in White. You go to the White House to just chill, do nothing, kind of thing. And I love White House. I had my birthday party there, rented a villa. Modern villa, beautiful, great service as well. But we don't have that in the grill. We don't have that in the grill. Totally forget the next point that I was going to make with that. Anyway, let me use that forgetful opportunity to go to the comments here. Wolf Club says high ceilings are timeless. Love the tall doors. Talking about the video that we just watched. Tall doors and windows. Everton says, I've seen the modern contemporary design and property viewers in Jamaica and the TCI Islands, and they're not all that boring. Joe says, actually, Hermosa Cove and Ochi is another example of timeless Jamaican classic. I don't know what that is. I just want to see what that is, Joe. I hope this is the right one. Oops. Is this the right place? Yeah, this looks very nice. If this is the right one, this is the right one. Villas. Yeah, it looks pretty nice to me. Claudian says 10-foot doors are insane. I think so too. You don't see that a lot. Alayla Lee says, Throp, check out EYL. They are building in a modern city in Ghana. They said they want to fulfill Marcus Garvey's vision of connecting us back. You know, I saw that thumbnail, Alayla. I'm just like, we'll see. We'll see. I have my thoughts on that whole conglomerate there, but maybe I need to watch the video before I pass judgment. But I was talking with my friend about it. I'm just like, man, certain things you see are just like, okay. But I'll just leave it at that. Let me watch the video before I pass judgment. But again, I question the team there. All right, let's keep rolling here. TDC Consultant says Saloon feels like a Jamaican sports day right now. Pure vibes and niceness. Jamaica food. Alayla says Jamaica food is untouchable. TDC says Throp. I think we are in a very niche way, and conversations like this and the pending developments are making sure it happens. But good balance to the environment is having the hole in the wall attractions and resorts. It helps to preserve the sacredness of the island and acts of refreshers from the commodities. So I think you bring up a great point with that. And so one thing, so with Tulum, right? Without question, they are completely catering to Western travelers in a big, big way. Their accommodations, the music, the food, and I love it all. I loved it all. I'm telling you, one of the tests that and I said this after I came back from South Africa, one test that I always do or make note of when I visit different places, seeing on the spectrum, who are they catering to? How much are they catering to us, the Western culture? Is like, and that is, if I go to a coffee shop, can I get oat milk? And that to me is a hospitality industry or society that understands their clientele and wants to meet that clientele's need at whatever point. And to get to the point of offering the type of milk that they're looking for. And they had soy, they had almond, they had 2%, they had whatever you needed, but almond milk. And in South Africa, I remember at the hotel we were staying at in Joburg, and I went to the hotel coffee shop, super modern, beautiful spot. And I was like, "Hey, do you have oat milk?" She's like, "Of course." Like, what do you think? You think we're savages here? And I was like, "Man, that's crazy." You don't get that in Jamaica. If you go to Starbucks, for sure, you go to Starbucks, but most hotels, you don't have that. Most hotels, we don't even have that here at Travelers. I'll tell you that right now. But it's like one of those things when you go to these places, like, who are we really, really catering to? Tulum, same thing. Any type of milk, any type of, I don't even know what the name of these drinks are that you can get at Starbucks, but all the fancy drinks that you can think of, you can get them at any one of these hotel accommodations in Tulum. And they're ready to serve you. Like, even their food that they have, and the food in Tulum is amazing. It's international, very, very international. You can get great pizza there, pasta, steak. You can get very great steak there. Jamaica, not so much. Jamaica, and I consider myself a steak connoisseur. Very, very, very rare am I going to order a steak in Jamaica. They just, coming from New You're just uncompared. You're just not going to get it. Generally speaking, I'm not saying you can't get good steak in Jamaica. I'm not saying that at all. But there's certain places I will go that I know will have good steak. And it's not only the cuts, but also the chef know how to cook a medium rare steak. That's also what's missing. But like in Tulum, you have all of that. You have all of that ready to go. And but on the counter side to that, to TDC, to your point, is you didn't see/feel the Mexican culture, even in the music. You didn't feel it. Whereas like in Jamaica, you are completely engulfed, surrounded by Jamaican culture everywhere you go. And somebody said it before, like Alayla says, Jamaican food is untouchable. And it is true. The food here, as amazing as the food in Tulum is, the variety and everything like that, every time I leave Jamaica, like I miss the food. I miss the food. The food here is absolutely amazing. And that's from an authenticity standpoint, that's very difficult for other locations to compete with because our food is so good. Same thing with our music. You know, we need to, of course, use our music to our advantage, and I think we do that. And people come down for reggae, for dance hall, Bob Marley, of course, and I think it's great, huge competitive advantage. And most of these places, they don't have that. They don't have that, and we have that. It's a huge competitive advantage, and I think we need to really double, triple, quadruple down on that as much as possible. But bringing it back to like the modern accommodations, the modern experience, like again, we're continuing to become like super global, and something to take into consideration, catering to the market that we want to go after and the market that we want to cater to. And in no way am I advocating like, hey, we need to forget about our culture and forget about where we came from. Like, no, not at all. But there are certain elements of the experience that we can control that doesn't take away from our way of life here in Jamaica, but really complements it more than anything else. And that's more or less what I'm advocating for here. Listen in the South, what's going on? Thanks for joining. Sandra says, internet seems to possibly be an issue at times, and we were at Rio in Ochi in May. My son works at DocuSign and paid to upgrade internet, and for some reason, it seems maybe Jamaica was flagged for him to work remote while there, I think. Yeah, it's not just... So a lot of people have that issue, and I don't think it's necessarily unique to Jamaica. It's just some companies just don't allow you to work outside of the United States, or maybe you can only work in Europe, or something like that's what I heard. Or maybe you're right. Maybe it's just Jamaica in or specific to Jamaica. But a lot of people, they pay for a VPN, and that sometimes solves the issue. I always tell people test it before you come. Don't just assume that, hey, or maybe you've done it before in other places, or get permission to be working outside of the US. And a lot of companies don't allow it. So yeah, like make sure you understand what you possibly could be getting into. And of course, I don't want you to lose your job because you try to live in Jamaica for 3 months and work from here, right? So make sure you look into that and look into a good VPN. Cherie, what's going on? She says, I'm late, but hi, everyone. There's a villa my friends and I have been looking at for our next trip called Yari Beach Villa. I think the villa vibes are desirable, but boutique hotels hold their space too, I'd say. Yes, that is Yari Beach. Is that the one that I'm thinking of that's on the beach here in Negril? I think that's the one. Embry says, EYR platform scammers and grifters, don't get involved with them. Throp, much respect. I didn't say it. I didn't say it, but and I respect what those guys did, or what they're doing. Not they did, what they're doing, right? And I think they brought financial literacy to the Black community in a big way and put it at the forefront. But again, some of the guests that they have on there are like really questionable, and you could just like see, somebody who does this, what I do, like you can see through it right away. I mean, or anybody who's like in finance and knows the markets, or knows business, knows entrepreneurship, and knows how hard this is and how incredibly challenging it is. Like you see through a lot of the garbage they bring on there, in terms of some of the guests that they have. But then they also do have guests that do bring value. Definitely. So it's I see both of it, but again, I am. You said it, Embrace. I'll leave it at that. Listen to South, late to the live, so I apologize if you already answered the question. Will there be an airport in Negril soon? Yes, it's well on the way. They're working on it, and they are. I don't. There's no timeline, but they're well advanced, as the Prime Minister says. They're well advanced. Council says Jamaica will have a hard time competing. Price of construction and maintenance are way high versus the countries we speak of. Can't operate on a loss compared to other Caribbean islands. Jamaica is still a steal. And that's so true. And so with that, a little bit of homework, right? If you look at some other islands in the Caribbean, not Turks and Caicos, but look at some other islands in the Caribbean and you look at what those islands are charging for hotel rooms, and then also matter of fact, yes, Turks and Caicos. Sorry. Turks and Caicos is the best example. I was thinking the opposite. Turks and Caicos is the best example. Look at what they are paying for and what they're selling beachfront property for compared to Jamaica. Astronomically higher. And I'll just put it out there. You can take a look for yourself. And I think that that's why this, I don't want to call it fire sale, but that's why there's I feel like there's been such a huge uptick in interest in Jamaica and people investing here, because when you do make those comparisons, you see it's crazy. And then you see what Jamaica has to offer and compare it to those islands. Again, a lot of these islands don't have as strong and robust of a culture as Jamaica does. I'm talking about multifaceted, multiple threats, food, music, dance. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Sports. Oh my goodness. How could I forget that? And these things that we just completely excel at and are just world class at, that is extremely hard to replicate or repeat. You can replicate and repeat over and over a very beautiful building and put that up anywhere in the world. But those four things, Jamaica has over so many other locations in such a huge way. And so again, if you just go to a realtor's website of the MLS in Turks and Caicos or wherever, and you'll see that Jamaica is a steal. Great point, Carlson. Cafe Blue, thank you, Sean. Cafe Blue has non-dairy options as well. Yes, I always used to get my vanilla latte with oat milk. The hazelnut latte with oat milk, as a matter of fact. TNK says the Rock House is the right vibe, and high-end people want privacy, exclusivity, not necessarily ultra modern. They can get anywhere. There you go. Wolf Cub says Heavy Cream is where it's at, fam. Jamaica says, Throp, I've got the best views from my property located in New Hope. Views of Jam West Race Course. I can see all the way to St. Elizabeth. Next time I'm in Jamaica, we'll have to link up. I know exactly the view that you're talking about. That's another coast. You kind of get that in super deep West End. If you know Serenade, we won't go into the map. I done too much map today, but I know exactly the view. You seeing the whole coastline, absolutely beautiful, amazing. TNK says GoldenEye has private cottages. That to me is why money people book there. Yep. Sonja says, yeah, he works in Mexico and other countries, so I wasn't sure if it was something in Jamaica. Could be. But again, I think sometimes, not all the time, but a good VPN will kind of allow you to circumvent that. TDC Consultant says, in my opinion, places like Negril, Treasure Beach, and parts of Portland feel like a great balance between hole in the wall, local interactions, and a getaway from the getaway. I love the sacredness of that. Me too, actually. Prices in Barbados are ridiculous, Bayesian Brit says. Yeah, you can take a look for yourself. Listening to South says, Throp, thanks for the response. That's awesome. Hope all is well, goes well, and in a timely manner for the airport project. Yes, I hope so too. We want to push it. And I want to bring this up. There was a politician who said in a newspaper that Negril doesn't need an airport and we need roads instead. No, we need both. Like I saw that. I was gonna post about it, but I didn't want people to think that I'm getting political or anything like that. But I was just like, when I saw that headline, I was like, yo, you don't speak for Negril at all. We want the airport, we need it. We also want the roads and we need it. And we deserve it, and not deserve it from an entitlement standpoint. We deserve it because of the amount of value that we bring to the Jamaican hospitality industry, and not just value in terms of the experience that the guests have. That's automatic, but the value in terms of the monetary benefit that we bring to the island. And we are being just disproportionately disregarded when it comes to investment in Jamaica. And it's just ridiculous. And we just, as a Negrilian, as somebody who lives here and been here almost 20 years, trust me, the sentiment here is that we are continuously forgotten about, and we are kind of just left to fend for ourselves. And I always say two things. I feel like this is the reason why, two reasons why. One of them is the structure of how Negril is set up. Is we are between two parishes, the parish of Westmoreland, parish of Hanover. So we don't have centralized leadership here. And then we don't have, in a sense, control of our own destiny in respect to where we feel money should be allocated and where we feel we would get the most bang for our buck. And we have to rely on this two parish system. So fundamentally, we are laid out the gate. We are in a bad position. And then I would also say that we are a victim of our own success because we have done so well with so little. I think and feel the assumption is this will continue to be the way. Well, unfortunately, the reality of that is that we eventually will become uncompetitive if we don't get the necessary investment that we need to stay or maintain, at the very least, maintain where we are. And we don't want to maintain. We want to get bigger. We want to get better. And we want to be more competitive and be able to offer the best possible experience that we can as hoteliers, as people in the hospitality industry, as Judah bus drivers, as a jerk chicken person on the road, every linked industry to hospitality. But unfortunately, again, we're just not getting the resources that we, like I said, rightfully deserve. And again, not from entitlement standpoint, really from what we're producing, more so from a merit-based position. And that's just unfortunately the reality that we've been in as a community. And we continue to push as much as we possibly can and bring light and bring attention to this. But just imagine if we had a decent road in Negril. Imagine we had lights on our on our walking path. Imagine the West End had adequate water. One of those things, right? One of those things. Let's keep going here. Beach Rock Maxim says, hey, Throp, saying hi from Beach Rock Villa in Fort Charles, Treasure Beach. My sister just sold her 1-acre beachfront property here in Fort Charles, Treasure Beach for $230,000 US. Awesome. Congrats to your sister. Congrats. Happy Sunday, Tanisha. Thanks for joining. Jamaica says the airport, when it arrives, will spur a lot more investment, including the highway to Negril. Yes. And the thing with that is it can't be one. It has to be both. So, and again, going with the theme of today's live stream, how are we able to compete globally? Tulum, now instead of driving from Cancun to get to Tulum 2 hours, you can fly directly to Tulum. And you can be 15 minutes or whatever it is from the airport, your hotel. You also have a high-speed, you have railroad. I don't know if it's high-speed, but you can take a train also to Tulum from Cancun. It's just these are the type of conveniences that the modern day traveler is expecting. And we have to think not just 2024, but we have to think 2044 and what those people are expecting. And the new players and the new hoteliers and the next generation who is going to come and run the hospitality industry in Jamaica. Are we giving them the best shot? Are we giving them the best opportunity to hand the baton over to them, and they can be competitive and make Jamaica competitive. And who knows like what the next destination in the world is going to pop up and be number one, because they've invested so much into their infrastructure, into the hospitality. And we have to think long term. We can't think now. We can't think 2024, 2025. That's not long term vision. That's not long term thinking. Very, very important. Very, very important. Like, we have to think like Negril needs to have an airport, because other places have airports, and that they're going to go there instead of Negril. And then what is that going to do for the country? What is that going to do for the economy? What is that going to do for our GDP? We can't reinvent. Like, I wanted, at some point, I'm going to do this whole stream on education. We can't reinvest in our schools. We're not even putting anywhere near enough money into our schools, anywhere near. And like, our expectations for the kids and for the workforce are here, way up here. But then the input that we have into what we would like to see is just like way, way, way down here, way down here. And so I can go on and on and on into that, but we need more investment in our education system, in our kids, and into the next generation of the workforce that we have coming on board, because we're not competitive globally. We're just simply not. We're not competitive globally because we're not investing. We're not investing in the future as much as we say. We can say, "Oh, we want the kids of the future." They're the but if we're not investing in them and we're not catering to their education, and I didn't mean to go down there, but again, a future stream we will dedicate to that. We will dedicate to that in a big, big way. But point is, we need both airport, we need the road, we need the highway. And if it turns into a situation where, hey, people don't want to stay anywhere any further than 30 minutes from the airport, and that is the competitive segment that we have with, the Tulum, with DR, with Colombia, wherever, we want to, as much as we possibly can, we want to be able to compete with that. Kuya Cuddy says, Throp, I love what you're doing for Negril. Wish I had somebody like you promoting Treasure Beach. Thank you. I appreciate that. I promote Treasure Beach. I love Treasure Beach. I've done a few videos on Treasure Beach. I will commit to doing more. Corey MPA says, Throp, the airport in Ochi bleeding cash after it was promised to make money and have these flights. Another airport, and they can't figure out the basic infrastructure like water and road. Come on. You need both. You need both. The airport it's gonna take time for that thing to come on. Like, I can guarantee you, without looking at anything, I guarantee you the Tulum airport right now is not making money. Guarantee you. I highly doubt the Montego Bay airport, which I don't know which one came first, but I bet you when that airport first opened up, it wasn't making money either. These things are gonna take time. It's not gonna be success overnight. Not gonna be success overnight. And it's going to be an iterative process. And when the Negril International Airport opens up, whatever it's going to be called, I guarantee the first 5 years, it's probably going to not make money. It's probably not going to make money. How long did it take Uber to be profitable? Is Uber even profitable? I'm not even sure. But these things take time. That's why they call investments. And over time, you work out the kinks, you iterate. But conceptually, it's a good idea, and there will be a return on it. The market is there. The market is being built out in so many ways, in accommodations. It's being built out, and I think it's a great idea. And I think it's gonna turn into a positive for the country and for Negril. Ochi, it's gonna take time. I tell you that it's gonna take time. You're not gonna make money in the first 18 months, 24 months. These are huge investments, and you're thinking long term. Water, I can't argue with that. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I have no argument, no excuse for that. I will say it's a long time problem. This is not something that happened yesterday. This is not something that is just like all of a sudden we just like, no, we've been having water problems. And going back to the villa that we're talking about, like if you're building in Jamaica, especially if you're building in Negril, but I think if you're building in Jamaica in general, you have to have a water harvesting plan. Have to. If not harvesting, at least a water storage plan. I'm talking about a lot of water, a lot of water. And if you don't do that, forget about it. This was an unprecedented situation moving into, say, November, January, February, and it's coming into 2024. I mean, you all saw I had to put up a live stream talking about and letting the world know about how dire this situation was in Negril. Water trucks up and down. All that people bought water trucks. The Grill Treehouse bought a water truck for the hotel. We're hoteliers. We're not in the water business, but some of us felt forced to get into it because of the situation. So I have no excuse with you, no argument with you whatsoever, Corey MPA. I think is an unbelievably ridiculous thing that we should not have to be putting up with, and it's worse on the West End. It's different here on the Beach Road, but it's just honestly, it's just unacceptable. But again, it's something that's long-standing. The can has been continuously kicked down the road and not dealt with, and it just reached a fever pitch. And it was a culmination of things coming together because we were also in a severe drought. So yeah, that's what we've been faced with. Sanjay says, both for sure. I actually came to Negril 25 plus years ago. The first place I stayed at was Travelers. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Where there were 4 to 5 cottages. So love when I come and see how much Travelers has grown. Usually stay at Negril Beach Club for apartment style living since it's usually 6 to 7 of my friends with me. Awesome, awesome. So nice that you're probably one of our first guests and you're part of that first guest era back in the day. Eileen Watt says probably age related. The owners are getting older and the children not interested in running the business. I think Eileen's talking about an earlier point I was making about seeing so many hotels for sale in Negril that will be on the Throp-X Real Estate Tour. TDC says, Throp, when you say we don't want to maintain, can you unpack that? Yeah, so I was saying, I look at Negril as like this diamond in the rough, right? And from like the fundamental aspects of like just the layout of Negril, the potential is immense. Is immense, 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 immense. But the resources that are going into it are not allowing us to reach our full potential. I remember this was years ago. This might be 10, 12 years ago. One of our travel partners, we were at a travel event and we were going through one of the first rounds of renovations that me and my brothers were doing here at Travelers. And we were ideating, we were talking to our travel partners, trying to learn about what at the time, the modern traveler is looking for as far as amenity style, etc. Just doing our research and due diligence. And he told me, whatever you do, don't go luxury. Whatever you do, don't go luxury. Because Negril is not a luxury town. Negril does not have the amenities to complement the luxury traveler. I was like, what do you mean by that? And he was just like, he's a New Yorker, like straight up from BX, as a matter of fact, I think. And he was like, yo, straight up, he's like, Negril is dirty. It's like, and you go downtown, it's like, it's not a place that you want to go out and walk and enjoy this, like for a luxury traveler, that is, somebody who's used to paying $1,000 a night at the Princess Hotel or something like that. And when you look at Bahamas, Nassau, that is a complimentary luxury town, if you will, in terms of the amenities. You got high-end shopping, you got Prada, Gucci, you could buy diamonds, all this stuff. Like, we don't have that. We don't have that. And so that's the point that he was making like 10, 12 years ago or whatever it is, not to go luxury. And so when I say like we want to go beyond that and we don't want to just maintain, we want to elevate the town of Negril. To me, I see Negril as this place that can turn into this beautiful community for you to come, live, and raise your family. And you can go here with your family and your kids from 0 all the way up to you're sending your kid off to college. Are we that right now? I wouldn't say so. I don't think so. I wouldn't invite you to come and that be your experience, again, from a globally competitive standpoint. And I think we can turn into that, especially with the potential of inviting uh the investments that would kind of promote that and give us the opportunity to create that for, especially for our young people. And it's not just people to come in here, it's also the people who are already living here. Always saying the girl doesn't have a high school. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. We don't have a high school in Negril. And me and my brothers, we don't have any kids, but it's something that I think about like, where would our kids go to school? And like, I know we got Mannings and they could go 45 minutes to school for me. I was like, but I don't want my kid on a bus for 45 minutes going to school and 45 minutes coming back to school. And I know kids do that here regularly, but I wouldn't want to do that as a kid. Maybe they get used to it, but it's just something like I think about. And so in terms of maintaining, we don't want to maintain, it's like all facets. It's not from the investment side, but it's the lifestyle side, it's the family side, it's the community side. And we want a park. We've been promised a park and we don't have a park for kids to play in. After all these years, there's nowhere in Negril for kids to play. We have the Negril, what do you call that? Negril Stadium. But it's like a field. We don't have a park. We don't have a playground. We don't have like a jungle gym. It's crazy. It's crazy. So this is what I mean. We don't want to maintain. We want to elevate. We want to move things to the next level, and we want to get things ready for the next generation. Allison says we need to stop making excuses for the problem. Agreed. Negril being the way it is because of duality of government. Westmoreland, Hanover, Negril was founded on an informal settlement and have not progressed sufficiently beyond that stigma. Sonia says investing in Jamaican people and the kids is so important. Some of the smartest and entrepreneurial people are people anywhere. Listed in the South says progress is a must. Wolf Club Uber is super profitable because they rip the drivers off. Okay. G Star 876, Tesla took several years before it was profitable. Jay Fitz, politicians always do a lot of talking, but as the saying goes, well done is always better than well said. There you go. Cub says, my family is from Treasure Beach, that's Southfield area. Sorry, MPA said, Throp, I agree with you if the government could handle basic infrastructure. Listen to South, just like any other business, you're going to lose money before you start making money. Korean PA says, yes, agreed, bro. And that's why I can't get behind a lot of these things that better governed society would obviously work. Negril Airport is a no-brainer. Jamaica says, land of wood and desert. Shorna says, what are your thoughts on the recent hotel strike at Royalton? I know that it's resolved. Just curious on your take since you are in the same industry. I mean, so I don't want to necessarily comment on another hotel properties issue and what they went through. I will say generally, obviously it's not a good look for Jamaica. In any way, I heard some of the guests were out there protesting, and it's unfortunate. Like, I don't know the details of the situation at all. It's unfortunate that situation got to that level. It seems like there was a quick remedy, and in terms of the Minister of Tourism coming down, and they made some changes that satisfied, at least from what I've saw and read, that satisfied the workers. And yeah, just not good. And I was just really, really sorry to see that. And sorry that it got to that level. And I hope that they're in a better position, the workers there, and that they're okay with everything that happened. But it seemed like they acted very, very quickly on it, and just generally speaking, just not a good look for not just the hotel, not the hotel at all. It's just not a good look for Jamaica. Wolf Cub says, Jamaica's education system got sabotaged in the 60s after we gained independence. Prior to that, Jamaican economy was on par with Singapore. The government didn't build enough schools to keep up. I see. Kevin, what's going on? Chiming in from the Negril Beach Club. Listen in the South says economy and learn what was being done. Now look at Singapore. Sonja says Las Serenas and DR has lovely villas and condos, but for me, it is not Jamaica or Negril. I do think that there could be some good examples of how to elevate Beach Road in the entertainment strip. Also, West End is so lovely, but never explored as much as I should because of walkability. TDC Consultant says Throp. So it seems that the challenge is empowering locals to pursue their purpose. I think that's part of it. Yes, I agree. For Eva, Throp, if hotel workers got a union island wide, how much do you think it would affect the tourism product in market? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like that would be I feel like that would affect like the bigger guys much more. Yeah, I feel like that would affect the bigger guys much more. I mean, there's some things I want to say on it, but like I don't want to like, put anybody in like any position or anything like that. But uh I would have to look into it. I would rather that question be given to like an owner or a manager or director of one of these larger all inclusives because they just have so many more employees than we do. I think we're at 50 something, 60, low 60s in terms of the amount of employees. So we're still a pretty small operation here. All right, that value that I promised you. Okay, so going back to my friend's villa, man, I hope you guys remember what it looked like. Um, so the last thing that I want to bring up, right? The last thing I want to bring up with my friend's villa, and as you saw, and everybody was commenting on the 10 foot, the 10-foot doors, right? And Fitz, I don't know if you're still on. I don't know what your plan is in respect to materials, design, everything like that. And so one thing that I thought and found was astonishing with my friend's villa. And let me know if you all want to see the video or if you get it, if you need to see it again. Man, maybe I could put up a picture here. I think that's probably the best thing to do, just so we can be on the same page. So let's pretend that you all remember what I'm talking about, and you see the. Oh no, I can't. Man, these pictures are weird. So you saw the 10-foot pivot door, and all the doors inside the home are 10 foot. Maybe I'll show the video because I can't find this thing. And so anyway, initially he was trying to get the door made here in Jamaica, that pivot door. I'm just going to show like the first two. I don't even know if I can. Let's just look at it real quick one more time. Let's 30 seconds and I'm going to cut it off. What's going on, Throppers? Recently had a chance to visit the 4Z's residential villa in Negril. And although I can't show y'all everything, I wanted to give you a quick sneak peek into what this home looks like. So firstly, the landscaping. Absolutely beautiful with fruit trees, coconut trees, ackee trees. Going inside, there's a 10-foot pivot door that welcomes you into a very wide open kitchen and living room. There are 4 bedrooms with en-suite bathrooms. The interior doors as well, 10 feet tall. All right, so everybody saw the villa, the 10-foot door, right? And so he was trying to get that door made locally. Just make it. And they were charging, the price that he got was between 8,000 and 9,000 US dollars for that door. It's like, that's crazy for a door. Anyway, that's what he was quoted locally. And instead, you know what he did? He went abroad and decided to import that door instead. And he was able to get two of the doors, the 2 pivot doors for the 10-foot doors for $1,500, which is crazy. 9,000 for one, or 2 for 1,500. And so these are like sometimes when you're going through your own construction journey, your own development journey, don't necessarily feel like you're trapped and that you have to pay $9,000 for a door, US dollars for a door because you're in Jamaica and you have to buy in Jamaica. There are options outside of Jamaica to do that. And like to me, maybe the supplier here in Jamaica, because the material is so expensive, labor costs are so, I don't know that this is what they can charge. But you as a developer, you as somebody who's building your home, it's like you don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to hear that and you kind of don't care. And you're just like, that's ridiculous. That's way outside my budget. And you have this thing, you want to do this thing, right? And you know that it shouldn't cost this much money. So instead, you import it and you bring it in. And so he did that for like a lot of the stuff in his villa. And I just want it to be like one of these things that is like a lesson learned for you all who are going through your own journey and thinking about redesign. I know some of you all have invested in Coral Seas or an SOV, and you're going to be putting together a budget to refurbish your unit. And I don't know what your timelines are like, but take the time to do a little bit of research. And if you need to look outside of Jamaica, do so. Do so. Because my friend did. And even if the import cost, the duty cost is 100%. So you're getting two doors for 1,500 as opposed to one door for $9,000. And a lot of stuff is just like that. And it's something to be aware of. It's something to be aware of. That's kind of what I want to close with. And thank you all for sticking with me in that. So let's go through some comments here. Jay Fitz says something similar to your friend's villa is what I have in mind. That's why I would like to speak to him. Don't worry, I'll put you in touch. I'll put you in touch. I feel like you met him when you were at the conference. But I could be mistaken. Restaurant for Life says the government needs to collaborate with private sector to make multi-story housing across the island. It is especially on the outskirts of Negril to provide houses for residents and workers. Agreed. And I was listening to this podcast on, does anybody listen to, I forget. It's an economics podcast. Anyway, they were talking about why U.S. housing is so expensive, and in particular, like coastal cities like San Francisco and New York, and in New York especially. And the thing is, it comes down to the inventory because there's not enough houses. And when you go to certain neighborhoods in New York, and you know this, Joe, when you go to certain neighborhoods in New York, it's so low. The stories, it's so low. And in some parts of the city and some parts of Brooklyn and wherever, you'll have like 30-story, 40, 50, 60-story buildings. And then right next door, you'll have like a 2-story house, right? And not to detract from your idea of timeless architecture and brownstones, but that's also a big reason is that they should be going up. The zoning structure needs to be adjusted. And I hope we in Jamaica don't get caught up in that, is that we need to go up. We need to go up. And I'm not saying that go up here in Negril. You're seeing a lot of that in Kingston, but like there needs to be more of that. There needs to be more of that. And as we continue to be in this housing inventory crisis, and because it is like here in Negril, we need tons and tons of more housing, tons of housing. I've been saying for the last couple of years, not confirmed, that the building ordinance of Negril is imminently being changed and adjusted, but who knows when this is going to happen. This has been years that we've been hearing this, but I've heard that it's going to go up. The building height is going to go up, and it's needed. Like we need more houses in Negril. I want a situation. I would love to see a situation where we have a good percentage of our workers who are working in our hotels and are working in Negril along the strip and on the West End actually live in Negril. Economically, it makes so much sense. Economically, it makes so much sense. Our workers like to go out and have a good time. Our workers like to go to restaurants and to bring their family out. And it's very rare that they'll say, live in Sav, which is 45 minutes away, go home, get dressed, shower, get dressed, and then come back to Negril and go to a happy hour at even Travelers or wherever, or Woodstock or Italian Cafe, any one of these great places, restaurants and bars. And it's just too far. It's just too far. And so, is there a situation? Is there a future? Is there a reality where we have housing on the West End for workers that is affordable, modern, nice, dignified housing that they can live, and then they can go and they do their grocery shopping at the local grocery store, keeping that money in the grill. They come back, they socialize, their kids play with other kids here, and then we build this community. And again, from an economic standpoint, the money stays in the grill. Not that I don't want money going to Sav or anything like that, but I have to think, we're generating all this money and bringing it in. Tourists come in. Like when you look at the flow of money and the cash flow globally, it's like, man, if we can keep more of that money in the grill, why not? And then on top of that, they're paying rents. They're paying rent for these houses. So is there reality? Does that reality exist? I don't know. As you bring the idea up of partnering with the private sector, that's the only way that it can happen. Because I know a lot of people complain, like, oh, even somebody today like was telling me, like, who is the Pinnacle built for? It's not built for locals. I mean, it's available for locals. Can the average Jamaican afford the Pinnacle? No, it's not. That's not the market that they're going after. Plain and simple, it's not. But a big market they are going after is Jamaicans who are living abroad. The diaspora, Jamaican diaspora, are looking to move back and looking to invest in Jamaica, and that's the market that they're for. But now going over to the area that we're talking about in affordable housing for our hotel workers, when you look at the cost per square foot for construction, it's not incentivized. You can't make a profit. This is where government intervention comes in, or some creative financing has to come in. Some sort of subsidy, tax break, um, you know, break on import, like a multitude of things that incentivizes developers to build affordable housing, and in mass. Like I'm talking about thousands of units needed. All right, let's keep rolling here. JFit says something similar to your friend. Oh, I think I read that already. Foyeva says 8,000 US for a door is wild. Tell me about it. Words abroad, he got it made in the US. I mean, I would say abroad can be anywhere. I mean, it can be maybe US, China. I know some people import stuff from Spain, Europe. We talked about tiles before, but my point is, like, open up your horizons. Broaden your horizons, and don't feel like you're trapped in Jamaica and what is offered in Jamaica. Or else you're gonna pay $9,000 for a door. Justin D says, having some experience working with lumber, what kind of wood will make a huge difference? Yeah, that's for sure. JFit says, I love pivot doors. It's on my wish list vision board I'm putting together. Awesome. Good for you. What country did he get it from? Let me double check. Let me double check. Let me see. Let me keep going here. Many of our people are just plain greedy and criminal. That could be part of the equation too. TDC Consultant says those doors are reminiscent of some of the villas in Tulum, oversized. Yep. Gareth Jamrock says 151 watching, but only 62 likes. Come on, let's all like. Yeah, hit the like button, please. That helps. That helps a lot. Oversized door, oversized in a good way. Yep, I agree. And scale and grandeur and drama. Yep. Can get to 100 likes. Yeah, let's try to get to 100 likes. That would be awesome. TDC consultants say break up your project in segments, pre-construction and construction. Excuse me. While I totally appreciate local craftsmen, They sometimes outprice themselves. Yeah, they can. Definitely, definitely. And sometimes it's not the craftsman. It's like not the it's a I guess craftsman contractor, same thing. Yeah. Agreed. Happy Sunday, Suzette. Good to see you. Thanks for hopping on. Jay Fitz says Bali has some beautiful, unique furniture at reasonable prices. Yep, I heard that as well. TDC says pre-construction design consultations with architects most of the time spent here, and it's not cumbersome. You learn a lot about yourself. Cherie says, so true. I watched a video with this sweet lady who sells fruits on the beach, and she said she has to take 4 taxis to reach Negril and has been doing it for 30 years. Crazy. Yeah. Even the vendors, like if we can do that, man, I don't know how. It has to be a partnership with the government. And I'm open to other ideas, but that's the only thing that I have in my head to like build just more affordable housing for our workers that is closer to Negril. And maybe it's like 10 minutes outside. Maybe it doesn't have to be on the west end. Definitely not the beach road. That doesn't even make sense. Yeah, maybe more in Sheffield. Sheffield's like 10 minutes away. It's right there. I think that would be a great location for that sort of thing. All right. I think we're going to leave it there, folks. This has been a good one. It's been an awesome one. We went all over, up, down, and around. We were on the maps for a while. I thank you all for your participation. Thank you all for joining on this stream. Damn, we didn't talk about Throp-X at all. All right. Throp-X, let's get a quick word in on Throp-X. Throp-X is coming up so fast. I think we're less than 3 weeks out at this point. And if you haven't got your tickets, you can get it at thropx.com. And if you can't join us in person, you can join us virtually. We'd love to have you. It is going to be freaking awesome. I'm telling you. We have some really, really amazing partners this year, really, really amazing sponsors. And they are really going to make this thing work in a big way. And the speakers are amazing. I announced half of it on Friday. I want to do it today, but we have been extending the stream even longer. This Friday, we'll go through the entire itinerary of the second day. The real estate tour is going to be awesome as well. Like we have more commercial spaces, more hotels. I think there's going to be more of Coral Sea's SOV type deals happening. I already know it. If it's something that you're interested in being a part of, come to the real estate tour. Even if you're in Jamaica, maybe you can't make the whole week. The real estate tour is the 20th, 20th, the Wednesday of November. And come and join us. I know a lot of people show up for it on the day. And please get the ticket before. If you can, please buy your ticket beforehand, because last year we had a lot of people show up the morning of and it delayed and we left a little later because we had to run payment for everybody. And I know that's going to sell out. There's no question. The real estate tour is going to sell out, especially with what happened with Coral Seas and SOV, which is great, which is amazing. But I want as many of you to be a part of it as humanly possible, and we'd love to see you on the tour. So I want you to get your tickets early if you're going to be in Jamaica, or if you want to join or get the full week. We'd love to have you. As I mentioned before, hop on those virtual tickets if you can't make it in person. Shona asks, is any updates for part 2 of Throp-X speakers? Friday. We'll go through it in detail. I don't wanna like rush through it right now. We'll do it on Friday for sure. Is there any possibility of you inviting the tourism minister for Throp-X? We tried. He's busy, but unfortunately he can't make it. That would have been amazing to have Mr. Bartlett join us. TDC says, not a shaming point, but similarly to how we shop for clothes and other items on Amazon, and Shen would also exercise the same diligence with the place we create our lives. Good point. Sandra says, what are you doing for Negril and putting it on the map for investing is amazing. Negril is a gem. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. We are going to... All right. I'm going to show the... What do I want to show here? Let's show some of our partners here, and we're going to end with that. I'll see you on Friday for the ThropX dedicated ThropX stream. Thank you all for joining. I wish you a great rest of your Sunday and have a great week ahead. And I will see you on Friday. Peace, everybody.
Welcome to Cocoa Palm Hotel Negril. My name is Kimisha Brackett. I am the sales and marketing manager here on property. At this property, we're a standalone hotel owned by a Minnesota family. We have 107 rooms on property. Our rooms caters for adults and kids. We have rooms with 2 beds. We also have suites, ocean view suites, cocoa suites, junior suites. We have 2 swimming pools on property, our family pool, which is a courtyard pool, and we have our adults on the pool. We'll also have a jacuzzi here on property. We have our restaurant, Marley's by the Sea restaurant, that caters for breakfast and dinner on a daily basis. We have a Marley's Beach Bar and Grill that caters for lunch. Come and walk with me. Let me take you to the beach, our beautiful 7 Miles Beach, right where we do most of our activities. We have our activities that we done daily. We have our cocktail party that is held every Monday at 6 until 7 right here on property. Complimentary cocktail for our guests and hors d'oeuvres. We also have our entertainment on Wednesdays and Fridays. On Fridays, we have a full cultural showcase, the fire-breathing dragon on property and a full cultural show. We have our spa on property. If you want to do your massages on the outside or indoors, we can do that for you. We also have a gift shop on property that caters for all Jamaican souvenirs. Whatever you left at home, you can get it in our gift shop. Come and enjoy the beautiful property, Cocoa Palm Negril, here in Jamaica.
Jamaica finds itself on a transformative journey. The government has committed billions of dollars to infrastructure improvements over the next 5 years, including highways, bridges, hospitals, and water systems. But it's not just the government. Major private sector investments are flowing into the country like never before. Billions of US dollars are being poured into residential projects and commercial developments. The economic indicators are undeniable, showing a positive path for Jamaica's future. Now is the time to be a part of this growth. You don't want to miss out on the opportunities unfolding before your very eyes. Enter Throp-X 2024, Jamaica's premier real estate and investment conference, taking place from November 17th to November 22nd in Negril, Jamaica. Throp-X is your portal to understanding the investment opportunities available throughout Jamaica. Learn from the experts driving Jamaica's economic success and uncover its potential for yourself. Whether you want to learn how to purchase property in Jamaica, network with top-tier practitioners, or explore what it's like to live and thrive here, Throp-X is the place to be. Join a community of like-minded individuals and be part of a group of potential investors ready to grow with you. Join us at Throp-X 2024, where all your questions about living, investing, and thriving in Jamaica will be answered. Secure your future, embrace the journey, and see you in Negril. Register now at thropx.com.